Milwaukee, it's Movie Chatter.
How's it going, guys and girls?
Happy Sunday.
Great.
Episode
Going
220 today. How about that?
220. 220, 221.
That's not a milestone, is it? No. 220, 221.
Voltage.
Mr. Mom.
I think that's a voltage joke.
Right, it's a voltage joke. People say that all the time.
They do. They say it at work.
So we're going to talk...
It's a milestone, not to interrupt.
we're going to talk 10 reviews again today.
Bam.
Maybe 10, maybe
10.
11, 12. You know, at least 10. At least 10, that's what we're going to try to do.
But aren't we going to try to keep ourselves from rambling on? I know how you hate when we ramble on,
We're going to
Dave.
try to. We're going to try to.
He's
We're all...
quite the taskmaster.
I'm all full of French toast and mimosas.
We're all sugared up.
We
Yeah.
are. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was a fun little thing.
Kelly
It's-
brought over some French toast sticks.
Ooh. With
Homemade.
with the very fancy bourbon barreled maple syrup and some organic syrup, and had some mimosas.
I'm still drinking mine right now, champagne and
Bam.
orange juice.
So,
Yeah, made with prosecco.
Prosecco and orange juice. And
What did you say? It was $900 a bottle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Well,
you know,
that's not
just
cheap.
using the profits from the podcast. Just putting them right back in.
We are
Oh, yeah.
so deep in the red, we're actually swimming in blood. This is a red.
No, that was
podcast.
fun. It was, you know, it's Sunday, so we were like, hey, let's just, have a Sunday brunch. It's a podcast brunch.
Maybe next week we'll have the hot ham and hot ham sandwiches. Remember that from the old days?
Pretty soon
Oh,
there'll be like a
yeah.
buffet behind
Yes,
us.
right.
People be taking off their headphones, grabbing another
A
dish,
crawler.
Fixing a plate.
fixing a plate.
A crawler and a ham sandwich.
Love it.
As long as it's vegan, I'm
Sounds
ready
good.
to eat
There
it.
you go. I'd love a vegan ham sandwich.
Sweet pickles.
Has anybody heard of a
That was my nickname in high school.
What was your nickname?
Sweet Pickles.
No way.
Yeah, just
Sweet
for-
Pickle.
Just for a short time. No, I'm just kidding.
Very, very short.
You are very quirky.
Really.
Have you heard of a sparkling water called Death Liquid or Liquid Death?
No.
Oh
no.
gosh, that's a fun
Sounds
thing.
intriguing.
That's a fun thing
Ask
to.
Kelly. She's got this new bubbler.
I'm obsessed with
caffeinated
bubbler.
stuff.
Yeah. This is,
Yeah.
it's, same thing, tonic water, but this has antioxidants and a little bit of caffeine.
Is that what
You gotta
you're,
have
you're-
those extra sneaky.
Well, the marketing
Sneaky
campaign.
parts.
I'm probably late to the show, but Liquid Death.
Liquid Death.
is a sparkling water where they sparkle it at the level of carbonation as like beer instead of
Is that
Less
sparkling water is a little
It's not as
higher.
carbonated.
No, it's actually higher.
Oh, so it's
So-
flatter?
more flat?
Well, it's supposed to be closer to beer, I guess.
Okay.
And the marketing campaign for this is just crazy. Where it's
They hooked you, huh?
They hooked you.
What's it called
And-
again?
Liquid Death.
Liquid Death.
Liquid Death, and they have the thing is they're in 16-ounce tall boys. Okay,
Ooh.
aluminum. So it looks like a can of beer, and in the ads, it's always kids drinking it, and
Nice.
grandmas drinking it. Liquid Death, and they have a side campaign talking about vegan cannibal steakhouse, which is great.
I'm looking at the can. It looks like a very modern can of beer. It looks like a,
Yeah, I didn't want to go out on a limb here, but
one of
Fun.
those
But-
niche-y ones. Does it have caffeine in it, I imagine, or something?
no,
Oh,
it's just
they
sparkling
did.
water.
They had a commercial during the Super Bowl.
Oh,
I do
okay.
remember.
Did they
Yes.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. I have seen that.
they got me hooked. We're gonna definitely have it in here next week.
I thought it was beer.
Mountain water.
Mountain water.
Whatever that means.
So we have a bunch of movies to talk about this week,
Sure do.
Sure do. Okay,
but
you got me
but
distracted.
is there a problem with us? Practically, we've never had a show where it's actually just movies. I'm looking at like 1, 2, 3, 4. There are so many just TV shows here. They're not movies. We only have a couple movies
Well-
on the list.
You know what? Suck it.
That's the nature of the
deal.
beast these days. It's
It
different formats, and they compete with movies.
Right. That's why we're not talking about Big Sky, because that's a network show. I watched that.
Right. You know, when we are in the world of the Marvelous Miss Maisel or Ozark or
Yeah.
back in the day, Sopranos and Mad Men, those are like
They're feature film quality.
Right. It's like a 20-hour movie, you know.
I think we're
So-
going to leave Ozark off because we're going to do a whole Ozark show.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I think
Nice.
it's so good. We'll
worth
wait
it.
for the end and then
Right.
talk about it.
Yeah, there's
Gush.
7 more episodes coming.
You know, the other day, you guys, I mean, a couple of podcasts ago, you were looking at the poll over there and you were going, you know, what's up on the poll? You got Groundhog Day, Jurassic Park. We left off at Pulp Fiction, but I have the list right here.
Oh my gosh. Do you
Paper.
really?
I need
Paper.
to. I need to write it up on the poll.
I just
You
want to
do.
know if you still think these are our top 25 movies of all time.
Wow.
So we have
Need to
Groundhog Day,
revisit
Jurassic Park, even though I'd like those reversed, Vanilla Sky, The Matrix, Jaws, Fargo, Pulp Fiction. That's what's up right now.
Yeah. That's the top 7.
Here we go. Anchorman.
Wow.
Did you think that was there? The Dark Knight.
Okay.
American Psycho. Live, Die, Repeat. Shape of
Okay.
Water.
Okay.
Iron Man.
Okay.
Young Frankenstein. Christmas Vacation. Alien. American Graffiti.
Yep.
T2. Back to the Future.
Yay.
Forbidden Planet.
Wow.
Shawshank Redemption.
Okay.
Yep.
Deadpool.
Hmm.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Wow.
Part 1.
Wow.
Braveheart. Mary broke the tie on that one, I guess. That's my note. And Avengers Endgame.
Holy cow.
Well, that's
I
a
would
lot
say-
of awesome ones. I might have taken 1 or 2 off that
Yeah,
list.
I
Sure.
could kick a few off, but I'd say at least half of them are a solid no contest. Still belong.
So
Yeah,
this was a
You know
lot
what
of.
I mean?
This
Yeah.
was like heavy math. We did, you know,
yeah,
we
that's
figured
what I
this
mean.
out.
Like at least half are uncontestable.
Well, now that I have the list, I think we're going to have a show where we do another top 25 movies of all time.
Challengers.
Yeah. And then do we have to do a show before that where we discuss what the list is
What it means.
criteria? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we'll
Because
do
remember, I
something.
mean, it used to be what you want to
Desert
take to a
Island, right?
desert island. And then it's the best movie. Then it's rewatchable, which is kind of related, but it's different. And then, so that's a whole thing too.
I think it's just going to be whatever you feel.
Okay.
So you bring yours in, and then we're just going to do the math. High calculus,
Wow.
all pencil and eraser and paper, no calculators whatsoever. So the error chance is great.
We're gonna chart some graphs.
Yeah,
Okay. That sounds fun. That would be really movie stuff.
there you go.
All right.
Well, let's get on with these 5-minute reviews. We're going to try to do a 5-minute review. Maybe somebody has a timer. Bill's right there.
You have one? You have one set? I have
I
one.
don't have a timer now.
I got one ready right here.
All right.
Okay, the first one we're going to talk about, Bill was very excited to talk about the French Dispatch on
Dispatch.
Dispatch. Where can you see that, Bill?
HBO now.
HBO.
I paid to see it. I paid big money to see it, but before it was on HBO. Now it's on HBO.
Okay, well, there you go. Let's press the button.
Boom.
Go. Tell me about
5
the
minutes.
French Dispatch, Bill. Talk me into it.
Well, it's done by the famous director Wes Anderson, who makes these very visually interesting and quirky, light humor kind of. It's humorous because of the interesting characters, right? And this one is supposed to be a love letter to journalist set in an outpost in Kansas City, actually, but it's about it's like an insert that you'd put in your Sunday paper, and it's called the French Dispatch, but it's about France. All right, so even though Bill Murray is the manager of this newspaper publication in Kansas City, most of the movie takes place in France, and it's 3 or 4 parts where it's divided by like the sections that would be in the magazine. So now there's an art section of the magazine. So they have Benicio del Toro as a prisoner who is making famous art, and that's a section.
Okay.
And Adrian Brody is his.
Has anybody else saw
art
this?
Yes. So I'll say like the stories, because like you could go on for 5 minutes on any one of the stories. Like they're
Okay.
so detailed. I like it's quintessential Wes Anderson, and it's almost like, I mean, you could say dry humor, but it's like what I love about those movies, because I am a fan of his. Some of his movies are some of my favorites.
Okay.
Hilarious things are happening, but no one's laughing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's that kind of a movie where
Sure.
like it's
I
so
agree with-
funny, but it's like they're not acting to comedy in the scene. It's
Right.
everyone is dead face serious,
Yep,
but it's
very
so funny.
Deadpan and dry humor
Yeah.
are a good way to describe it. I have that written down too, as far as the feel of the movie.
And there is so many famous people in this movie. It is redonkulous.
There are.
Right. Tilda Swinton, Leigh Seydoux, Francis McDormand, Timothy Chalamet, Jeffrey Wright, Bill Murray, of course, Owen Wilson. There are,
Benicio del Toro. You mentioned Adrian Brody. Like every scene is just
Yeah,
packed.
and then
some people
tons of others.
make
Yeah.
cameos where they're literally on for like 2 seconds. And you go, wait, I thought
Henry Winkler.
Right.
Hey, what's
Yeah.
he doing there?
This is just a movie. It's not a series.
No,
Just
it's a movie.
No, it's a.
Oh, I might watch it.
It's broken up very creatively. I do like how they staged the different like sections of the movie, and it's very classic Wes Anderson. They introduce you to how the film is formatted from the beginning.
They do.
Just name a couple other Wes Anderson movies.
Moonrise Kingdom, Royal Tenenbaums.
Lately, Fantastic Mr. Fox, and
Yeah.
Isle of the Dogs.
Island,
Okay.
Budapest Hotel.
Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
and almost all of them have Bill Murray and Owen Wilson in it.
Right. I mean,
Because
The
they-
Life
He's got
Aquatic
his-
with
he's
Steve
got his
Zissou.
troupe.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got his group.
One of my more favorite
Okay.
ones. Way back when, Rushmore.
Oh
also,
yeah.
that-
Jason
yeah,
Bateman. No, Jason
Schwartzman.
Schwartzman.
He's actually in this as well.
So
He
if you-
always
oh,
is.
is
They
he?
like
Yeah.
always have their troops that.
Right. He's got his troops.
Yeah.
So if you're a fan of this director,
Bottle Rocket.
are you going to like it?
Yes, because then you
Yeah.
know what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're just the average person,
Like me?
you will be confused and go, "What just happened?"
No,
Do
I
you
like-
those movies? Do you
Well,
like Steve Zissou,
wait,
The Life Aquatic?
What was
or-
the hotel movie?
Grand Budapest Hotel.
I love that movie.
So if you liked that, yes, you might like this. It's even further in his style direction.
The problem,
even drier. Like
Yeah. And even more like complex, and like the character stories, like they'll tell you a whole bunch of information and you'll catch maybe 20% of it the first go.
Yeah.
okay, jokes about some war that I don't know about,
Potentially.
Right. Yeah. It's definitely some high
or a
humor.
European leader.
Right. They expect you to know some stuff. You
Okay.
may have
But
to
it's
Google.
it's
All right.
satire. And
Okay.
it's, good stuff, maybe not his best project, and like Bill said, I
got
think if you
37
like
seconds
if you
we got.
like Wes Anderson,
Is it a recommend or not recommend?
it's a qualified recommend.
there you
Qualified.
go.
If you
I like
like
that.
Wes
I like
Anderson.
that.
Okay.
So recommend if you like Wes Anderson, and if you know what it, and if you've heard this interview, this podcast, now you know what it is going in.
Yeah.
Okay,
Otherwise, you're going to be so confused. Unlike that hotel movie, because it's broken into 3 or 4 sections, even more if you talk about the newspaper part of it. You have nothing to follow. It's different stories.
Disjointed.
Right.
Okay.
But there is so many golden moments.
Yeah.
All right.
So many golden moments, and there's so many weird stories.
Okay.
So if it's free, I paid
worth
big
it.
money to see this. Now it's free
But if
on
you've never
HBO.
seen a Wes Anderson movie, you can skip it.
I would say skip it.
Okay. Great.
And it also has a full nude scene with the
Bill
late-
Murray?
with
No.
that actress from
The last James Bond movie?
the last James Bond.
Really? Okay,
So
well
there
then
you
I'm
go.
going to write that down.
There you go.
Yeah,
See?
he's in.
Oh my God! Yeah.
I'm in.
You'll get right to it. That's within like the first 20
She's
minutes.
like a
too.
nude model, and he's painting her.
She's actually the prison
very
guard.
kid.
Oh, that's right.
And
Oh my
he's in
God.
prison and he's painting her because he's a
I haven't
famous
gotten
painter.
much
That's what I'm
past
saying.
That
Like,
sounds really
the
interesting.
stories are
doesn't it?
so quirky and so like I mean it's just dripping with creativity. We'll give it that.
You'd
Okay?
almost have to see this twice even to
Yeah.
understand it. There's so
Right.
much in it.
Okay. All right.
All right,
That was number 1.
that's a wrap.
All right.
HBO.
Don has one.
Ooh, I do.
The sex life of college students?
Oh, yeah.
Girls, college girls.
College girls, not students. Where do you see that, Don?
I saw that on HBO Max. Should I
Okay.
hit the timer?
Yeah.
Boom. The sex lives of college girls, right? You know, just the name alone is practically entrapment for a guy like me. You know,
Right.
I mean, how can I not watch that?
Right.
You know, so and then it's written by Mindy Kaling.
Oh, okay.
And you know, we loved her. I mean, remember the movie Late Night?
Yeah.
You know, with Emma Thompson. I mean, she writes
Because
good
her
stuff.
writing is gold.
Yeah, it's really gold, and
Love
it's
her.
it's definitely from a female perspective, and it's female forward or whatever. And I am watching it with my wife.
Okay.
And that, you know, is helpful. It might not be for guys in general. I mean, it's not like it's called The Sex Lives of College Girls, but it's really about 4 girls who are going to start their freshman year at Essex College, a snooty college in Vermont, and they're all strangers and they're all very different, but they're going to be roommates at a dorm.
Is it anywhere near like a female version of Animal House?
Not that funny, but
It doesn't have a one tied storyline like
Okay,
that.
okay.
But I mean, it's definitely super R-rated and funny that way.
Oh yeah.
Nudity?
It's a series.
Nudity.
Too, so you can't quite compare it
Not
to
much nudity. Not like all the girls are all, you know, nude and stuff like
No,
that.
no.
I mean, there's more like, you know, blurred out wieners than there are boobs. I don't know. Even something like that. A lot of butts.
Yeah,
lot of butts.
One of the
A
girls,
lot of butts.
she wants to get into this club, and it's mostly a man's
my
club.
gosh,
So
yeah.
she gives all of them hand jobs.
Right. Yeah. They just show her just kind of getting after it. Somebody
She
says,
got in
you
the
should
club."
probably get on those guys' sides over there. And then pretty soon, you know, she's this Indian girl who's apparently kind of sexually repressed. And
I'm putting a star next to this.
Yeah, yeah.
she's,
Dave's in.
you know, but it's interesting in that it has, I don't know if you know this, Bill, but one of the main characters is Pauline I can't never say the guy.
Shamalama Ding Dong?
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah.
It's his sister.
Chalamet.
Oh,
Chalamet.
cool.
Yeah, she's in there.
What year is this supposed to be? Current?
Very current. Yeah, brand new.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Everybody has a phone.
Absolutely. Yeah, right. And so, anything else I've written about it? You know, strangers, roommates, really well written,
You talked me into it, just so you know.
funny.
Bring up the star.
He
Yeah,
started at a lot of butts.
it started at a lot of butts, and yeah. So,
Well,
you'll
the
enjoy
And
it.
butt
Mindy
is your-
Kaling.
Mindy
You know,
Kaling.
Because of
puts
its
me
name,
for
you're
that.
almost embarrassed to watch it.
What kind of humor level are we talking? Are we talking, let me just, is it like The Office funny? Am I going to laugh out loud? Am I going to laugh out loud?
I think so. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, when she's jerking off all them guys, that's pretty damn funny.
Well, and I think it's
Just
probably context too. You know, I bet a college girl would find it as
Yes.
funny, if not funnier, than
Right,
The Office.
right. So
you know
I'm
what I mean?
sure
It's
you know,
situational humor.
right. I mean,
It's going to resonate with me, I'm sure.
it seemed like she was probably writing it from her history or
Right.
memory and things like that. And
It's not a memoir.
No,
No,
but
not
I'm
at
sure
all.
she takes some experience and cranks it up a notch and makes it even funnier.
right, and they
she's
they
very good at that.
poke a lot of jabs at a lot of pop culture
Current,
stuff.
yeah.
All of the wokeness and the pronouns and everything like that. Then there's poor people that are going to this school and rich people and so
a little bit of social commentary
yeah,
too.
a lot of social commentary, and then it's also just
Is it like
people hooking up. Like
how
a
is it-
friend of this girl's brother is really handsome, and he's gonna maybe date the awkward kind of geeky girl.
Okay.
And
How
so
is it filmed?
That's
How
fun.
is it filmed? Is it beautiful looking?
It's
Is
filmed
it filmed like a soap opera?
No, I would say it's filmed like a sitcom, but like an elevated sitcom.
Yeah, they often show people walking to and from buildings as you would in a college.
right. It's
And
a
then
half
you're
hour
in the
show.
college or in the dorm or something like that, and it's just people. Yeah, but it would be like I don't know, like a situation comedy.
Okay.
Yeah, but well done. It's definitely doesn't have a cheap budget. It's elevated from that. It's not like in a studio. It's a lot of
Where you have like room A and room B.
right. It's not that at all. It's on site, no doubt.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
on some really nice looking college in Vermont. That I don't know if it's even real, but it probably
All
is.
right.
Is that
Well,
something?
there you go.
Yeah.
Cool. So is there
And that-
recommend or not recommend?
I'd say recommend.
HBO.
For everybody.
Sold me.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Hey, just so you know, we on YouTube. We are on YouTube all the time, except for last week when Don
Forgot to plug in.
deleted something. We normally have a movie playing in the background. Okay.
Yeah, what are we watching?
You're not gonna don't try to guess because it's a contest. So if you can tell us what at moviechatterpodcast@gmail.com.
You can see like half the screen in the YouTube video.
Right. So if you can tell me what this movie is, you will the first
See,
person.
like this is tricky. Right now, you can't see anything.
Yeah, you can't.
Right. Well, that means you need to watch probably the entire movie, unless you're me and you would know what movie it is. But don't even try.
I
to
don't
guess.
even know.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Fun. That's a good one.
right, we'll throw you out something good. We have contests occasionally, and it's always something good, from James Bond memorabilia to 4K digital copies to
To a sticker.
Iron Man full outfits. To a sticker. But yeah, you need to go to moviechatter@gmail.com. Send me
Send me your
your address if you want me to mail you something, or just your email if you want me to send you something that you would have to just.
Is it the full thing, Movie Chatter Podcast, or just Movie Chatter?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Movie Chatter Podcast.
Right, all three
at
words.
gmail.com.
I'll put that up on the
For the
YouTube
contest.
It'll be on the screen.
Okay, there you go. Contest.
All right, number
3, Space Force.
Ooh, I'm back up.
All right.
Space. When I hear Space Force, all I think about is Space Ghost. Remember the show Space Ghost?
yeah.
Space Ghost.
But it's nothing like that at all.
Okay, Steve Carell. I've yet to.
Have you seen anybody? Has anybody here seen it besides me?
I have.
I've watched the first episode of season 1.
Yeah, I only sampled the very, very beginning.
I'm going to tell you that I don't think this show is very funny at all.
No, we made fun of it.
I was really disappointed because I was excited to watch it. It had all the
Yes.
elements that
Right.
I thought would make it, a home run for me.
Holy cow! Steve Carell and John Malkovich, right there.
Right. And then you saw it first, I think, and kind of just, described it as a total miss.
Yeah,
so I was
like
wah, wah.
how in the world is it possible? What did you think, Bill? Have you seen any of season 2 or?
Yeah,
what?
I saw the first, where they beat the idea to death of. I mean, it's crazy if you tell somebody what it is. The Chinese have destroyed one of our satellites, but nearby that satellite, we have a dog and a monkey in space.
Okay.
And the monkey's pretty smart, so they want the monkey to recover one of the solar panels.
Okay.
And then weld it back on to the satellite.
Ooh. Welding monkeys.
Right.
That's what Don calls
that's
me.
fun.
The monkey-
Hey, we need a welding monkey over here.
Welding
But the
monkey,
Chinese tempt the monkey over to their ship because he just wants food. And he
Okay.
ends up eating the dog. I mean, that's just one little part of the whole thing.
Okay.
So,
Right.
I mean,
So in
it might
concept,
sound
it's-
funnier on paper.
what are we doing?
Pushing Bill's mic closer
yeah,
to his
get
head.
So it
Closer.
sounds funnier on paper, I think.
Okay.
It does. It's probably it's a good concept. And then somebody said, and we'll get Steve Carell and John Malkovich, and we'll throw in Ben Schwartz.
I guess
really
I
funny
didn't.
too.
I didn't like it because it's new, right? Space Force is something that's real.
Right. It's kind of.
I didn't like something
kind
that's
of realish.
It's brand new, and making fun of it. So I probably was like, oh,
Yeah, I think it's mainly that they just
for me.
it's just a miss. The whole first season.
I mean, on general humor, regardless of the subject matter, nothing seemed funny to me. It was all like miss.
yeah, all miss.
That's a bummer.
It was
Like they're
like
trying to be funny.
they're trying to be funny. It's kind of Steve Carell. You're not quite sure if he's doing his character from Anchorman. The dumb.
Oh.
The dumb weatherman.
The dimwit.
Right, but he's supposed to be a 4-star general. And
It's like Seinfeld season 1. Like,
Yeah.
like
they hadn't quite
like,
figured out their formula
yeah,
yet.
like kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
The jokes are.
So is this going to
okay.
continue? Will they get there?
Well, so we're on to season 2 already.
Right. So is it better?
I mean, should I spoil? You were talking about season 1.
You can
right?
spoil
I
it.
saw season 2, the first show. No, oh, really? That was from season 1. What I was talking about?
No, you're.
Okay, just tell us.
They get to the moon on the first season.
Okay.
That's the thing. And did you see season 1? You just
No,
skipped us 2.
I just saw the first show.
Well, I got plenty of time.
Oh yeah. And okay, so you just saw the first show of season 2. So you saw
And
30
season 1.
And season 1.
Right. And it
Okay.
didn't interest me
Okay.
enough to keep going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Somehow I have been watching it. So as a person who loves sitcoms and can watch bad sitcoms,
Right.
it has enough of a storyline that'll take you through it. You know, it's got some love interests. It's got Steve Carell is married to Lisa Kudrow, but yet she's actually in prison. And they
I
have
adore
a
her.
daughter who's
Yeah.
trying
Is
to
it
go
a
to college.
Is it a guilty pleasure?
It's almost a guilty pleasure because it's so stupid, but you're like,
I mean, are you watching it folding laundry, walking out of the room?
right,
You
right.
could.
Yes, you
Yeah.
definitely are doing that.
This is a folding laundry.
You know, now there's 17
You prefer it
episodes
to
of it.
silence. Okay.
Right, yeah.
I mean,
You know,
but
and
but
it's-
literally, you're not just sitting down
Glued.
with your popcorn
You're not
watching
glued.
this.
No, I mean, I think I generally am watching it in the kitchen while I'm doing dishes on the
Okay.
kitchen TV.
Okay.
And then I'll sit down in the kitchen chair and watch it for a minute here.
Because
and
when I
there.
when I
Drink little
watch a
coffee.
show while I'm doing dishes or something, if it's good enough, I usually go. I
Yeah.
have to
Okay.
stop.
Never mind. I gotta.
Right.
I
gotta
gotta sit
stop.
down.
Right, so that's the beauty of sitcoms. That's why I do like sitcoms. I watch a lot of Seinfeld the same way.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, that's like the top tier.
But you
of
know what?
But Seinfeld, you can watch over and over and over again.
Right. Is this right? This you probably wouldn't watch over and over and over again. But I mean, they are putting a bunch of money into it.
Okay.
You know, and you do have John Malkovich being, pretty kind of funny, a little bit maybe. Ben Schwartz, I don't know that this particular guy. He's,
Oh yeah, he's in another one I want to talk about. The After Party.
He's in the After Party, and he's a funny guy. Doing his thing. He plays like the marketing guy.
Yeah.
Who's always schmoozing up
He's
people.
always like the goofy, quirky, smart guy.
Right. So he's
Yeah.
that. So the characters are like over the top, and it just doesn't land the way they wanted to.
Okay.
I know some comedies.
But they
you just
doubled
have to
down for
watch
season
a few
2.
of them to get into 'em.
Amazing.
I think when I started watching Blackish,
That's a much
it
better
wasn't.
show.
It was good, but
know-
like by the third or fourth one, it was hysterical.
Right. And I
Okay.
was going to say that's another prime example of a sitcom. And I feel like this happens with any successful sitcom. You go back and watch season 1 and you're like, yeah, they didn't have it quite nailed down yet.
It's
The
pretty
formula
common.
of a sitcom is like you keep capitalizing on what works. You keep capitalizing on what lands. You
That's
double
tr-
down on that.
Right.
And
that
that's
kinda
why you
it
have
kind
this
of steers you.
exactly. And then you have this formula by season 3, 4, 9 that is like
Mm-hmm.
every line is
It's true.
phenomenal.
It's true. A
A recommend or a not recommend?
I'd say not recommend.
Okay, good.
All right,
Unless
number
you're
4,
unless you're a sitcom junkie.
and that's on Netflix, right?
That's on Netflix. Yep. And they'll probably do a season 3.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, just because they have the money.
Maybe it'll start getting funny.
Moving on.
American Underdog. Where can you see that,
okay.
Bill?
Well, you can rent it or
Okay, so like Amazon Prime, $5.99 or $19.99.
it's $5.99 right
Okay.
now. And
That's
this is
doable.
this is the accurate, amazing story of Kurt Warner.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to see it from the trailer.
And and his wife, and how low he was economically, and how he just kept fighting through it. And you probably heard that. So this is a football story.
Okay, so
where he ends up winning the Super Bowl.
Okay, so here now, tell me how far when the last frame of the movie,
Yeah,
because sorry, spoilers. Everybody knows Kurt Warner.
Right.
At
You
least
know the whole story.
you know the whole story. We're not spoiling it.
Is it him?
I just want to know
saying,
how far the movie goes.
Yeah, I have an idea. I have a guess.
Does he win the Super Bowl?
Is that
and
is that the
then-
last scene?
It's almost the last scene where he throws the ball and they win the game.
Okay, great.
So
Perfect.
it puts bam,
And how-
then they
where
actually
does it
finish
start?
it.
What a
and
great
then
way
they
to
finish
end.
it off with showing the actual real people and what they look like.
Okay.
And they do such accurate. I mean, who is it? Zachary Levi,
Right.
Who
Zachary
saw my
Levi.
Shazam,
Yep.
or Chuckway in the old days. He looks different now. Anyway, he looks like Kurt Warner.
Oh, yeah.
And the actress that they have for his wife looks like his wife.
Anna Paquin.
And then you didn't know this, but they have she had a blind son. And so when he married her, she had 2 children. One was blind because her
Wow.
previous husband, well, I'll
Okay.
just keep my mouth shut there. But
where does it
he looks exactly like the real blind
so good
kid.
casting.
Good casting.
Where does it start?
It starts where they are at a bar and he's listening to, country music, which he hates, but he sees this girl.
Okay, is he just
Good
is he a
setup,
high
Bill.
school football player at the time? College?
Right. At this point, he is a successful college player.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So they're
or he
starting
may have
pretty
just,
early.
Right. They might have even showed his earlier. They might have started out showing his earlier career and how good he was in
And
high
then they
school.
flash back a little bit.
Yeah, and then they move a little forward. And then all of a sudden so they started with a little exciting football play, and he's very good, but he doesn't know how to stay in the pocket. And that was actually Kurt Warner, if you know him.
Right.
He was a scrambler.
Right.
Yep.
But he I mean, and if you like football and you love this story, it's a great story.
Okay,
there.
so how
They
about
nailed it
How
in that
about
case.
somebody that doesn't have an objection to football, but doesn't love football?
Isn't
Right.
into it.
There you
Okay.
go.
This is mostly a story about his girlfriend who becomes his wife,
Okay.
and him and their struggle.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Well, that
So
sounds like
It's more of a drama.
a feel good.
Oh yeah, it's a
Rags
feel
to
good.
Underdog
riches.
is in the title.
There
And
you
he-
go.
Literally
Beautiful.
the underdog.
Is it possible you'll be bawling at any time during this movie?
Oh yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
I
think
can
so.
feel
I'm gonna
that.
get choked
I
up.
actually did have a tear in my eye, and I watched it with a buddy, and I'm going, "Oh, I don't want to look like a."
I'm not crying. You're crying.
Yeah, but
I got salt in my eye.
it was
These
So-
pretzels are making me cry.
so I've been wanting
Damn
to see
allergies.
this. I would have even paid the money at the theater to go see it.
I wanted to
Alright.
see it.
Yeah, I heard. I mean, it's got really good reviews, and so,
I'm sure it's going to land
Well,
on
I'm
only
glad
HBO.
that I have a new movie I can easily talk Dan into.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right.
there you go.
You'll love it. You'll love it.
After
Yeah.
he sees Major League.
Oh my gosh, he's seen Major League. You see my struggles with my husband.
I mean, we were over at his house
He's
and we're
ridiculous.
and talking about, he's baseball
Yeah, he's a fanatic.
Nut.
freak.
Yep.
Nut. And I said, have you seen Major League? I don't know how we got in there. He was like, no.
Yes,
I'm
he
like-
has. I'm like, oh my goodness, that was
Oh,
one of
okay.
the first movies I made you watch, but it has been like a decade. So
Okay.
Okay. Wow.
So
Good
the American
movie.
Underdog
yeah,
is a definite recommend for everybody.
I would say you'll like it better if you like football and you
Is
like
it?
the
But-
Kurt Warner story.
Like Mary Breyer. Would Mary Breyer watch it and enjoy it?
can you draw a
I
line
think
to like
she would. She wouldn't say it's the most fantastic
Like-
thing in the world, but she'd
like
like
The
it.
Blind Side? Is it like a little bit of that flavor?
Right. Although that was a different angle, and I think The Blind Side was just a touch better in a different respect. This is more the
But that kind of quality, emotional story tied with sports.
yeah. I'd say it was close to that. And again, Zachary Levi, he is playing it spot on. It's not funny. He's actually you think you're watching
The real thing.
Kurt Warner.
Okay.
So
Cool.
recommend.
Boom. And Dennis Quaid as Dick Vermeil. It was
Yeah,
pretty
I
good
just
too.
saw
Oh, he was
that. I
good,
was like,
yes.
oh my goodness.
There's
he
some
looks
really
good.
good coaches in this thing.
All right, I gotta watch that.
Yeah.
but I still have to pay for it, right? It's,
$6.
Okay.
Oh, that's worth it.
Okay.
Sounds like.
I thought it was.
And you said you saw it on Amazon Prime, right?
Right, you can rent it on Prime.
Rent it on any streaming platform, probably. Usually,
Okay.
if it's available for rent on Amazon, you can pay a similar price at other.
I bet you another month it'll be $2 at
Yeah.
Redbox.
Yeah.
Sure. Or it's gonna be streaming somewhere.
Right. Right.
All right, next one.
Next one. Camp Cretaceous.
Ooh.
I guess we're
Alright.
gonna go final season or
Yeah,
or
so
the last
there's-
season.
There's been 4 seasons,
On-
and
on Netflix.
This is Kids Corner. To be fair, it's an animated show. It is
Awesome.
rated PG. But if you have any kids in your life, if you have kids or grandkids or neighbor kids, and you need to watch something that's safe for children, this is quality. It is so decent, and for all the trash of kids stuff that's out there, this they did such a good job of capitalizing on what you love about original Jurassic Park lovers. Because for me, Jurassic Park is the best movie
The
of all
best
time,
movie,
pretty much.
period.
I
There you
rank
go.
it as number 1.
Yep,
This is
number one.
produced by Steven Spielberg.
That makes it good right there.
Yeah, the score is all original. So like the opening credits, it sounds like Jurassic Park, and they have throwback scenes throughout the show too. So,
Okay.
and I will say
interesting.
it's gotten so much better. Like in the beginning, they didn't have as big of a budget for the animation. They threw it all into the dinosaurs, and the people looked pretty cartoony.
Okay.
But that's improved. So they keep getting better
to
and
know.
better. Yeah, and I mean, the plot is a little bit childish, and if you take the science at its face value, it's good enough. But obviously, if you start to dissect things, it doesn't always make sense. But it's a group of teenagers that won a place at a camp on Isla Nublar before a grand opening of a new Jurassic World. So the timeline fits into all of the other stories of Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. They talk about John Hammond. They go back to the original buildings that are now falling in, and we're part of the original Jurassic Park.
Right. So you're in the real Jurassic
You
Park
are,
world that
yep.
we all know.
And if you really dive into it, there's plenty of people out there that are seeing Easter eggs in it, and
Okay.
they went
so
there.
If you're a complete Jurassic Park geek,
Yeah.
you find some tidbits as an adult that might be intriguing and interest you
Yeah.
and make it more interesting as well.
It's fun.
Is Mason 5-year-old son?
Yeah.
Is he watching it 100% without distraction?
100%. And actually now with season 4, Mavis is watching it 100% too. Not even
Wow.
a 2.5-year-old.
Wow.
She loves dinosaurs now. They get
awesome.
so excited. We were like, "Do you guys want to watch dinosaurs?" they
We were watching the new Jurassic Park trailer, and
Yeah.
she just kept on going, "Oh,
yeah.
oh."
She's super.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, she's super animated when she watches it. It's awesome. And like I said, and then so they're fully vested, totally hooked. And then there's enough there for Dan and I that they went into the whole kind of lab sort of hybrid plot line where
Okay.
they crossed a dinosaur with a spine fish and stuff. There's actual scary dinosaurs where some scenes Dan and I look at each other and be like, wow, that dinosaur is actually pretty fucking scary.
Yeah, I thought. I mean, season 1, I thought it was pretty scary for
Right?
Mason might be
Right,
too
and
scared
the
to watch
animation
it.
of the dinosaurs is very
It's very good.
very accurate.
Yes.
Whereas the characters are much more
And-
friendly, sort of Disney-ish.
And people get
looking.
offed. They get eaten by dinosaurs.
Oh, wow.
But the difference is
That looks like a real
yes.
T-Rex. I mean,
oh, they
it's, like,
freak out every time
scary.
for the opening
The
credits.
dinosaurs eat people?
They do, but they just do it behind a bush.
Right, no
They don't
bloodless.
show the
Sure.
body parts flying off. So it's just
What
that.
does Mason do? Oh, she got eaten.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, it's not wrong to
he'll be
teach
like,
your
"Oh,
kids
he-
that
he got her."
dinosaurs do eat people if
Yeah.
they were around
If
each
they were
other.
around.
Right. But it's got, exciting plot lines for, that hit at least for adults too. It's not trash, and I just have to call out that it's quality. And they
That's
had
awesome.
they had a good cliffhanger at the end of season 4, so we're super excited that it's going to continue. Keeps getting better. They even had a throwback scene, I think it was in season 2, in the kitchen. So the kids are escaping a dinosaur, and remember in Jurassic Park the famous scene in the kitchen with the
Oh, right.
kids where
Yep.
she crawls into an oven and is trying to shut it, and he
Right.
rams into all of that kind of happened again with
Oh,
another dinosaur.
Oh, there
so they
you
even
go.
have throwback scenes to the original.
And they can keep on using
That's
general
fun.
Jurassic Park soundtrack,
oh yeah,
which keeps it
yeah,
good for me.
yep,
And it's on Netflix.
on Netflix,
It's on Netflix, 37 episodes, family friendly.
family friendly. Got to throw some of that in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
You even have 42 seconds to go here.
I was concise about it.
All right. Well,
Definite thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Recommend. I love animated stuff.
Well, and it
In
just
general.
it bridges the gap for me because I want to watch just Jurassic Park and Jurassic World with them. But then I remember that he's still only 4, and it's like there are some parts that are inappropriate. So
Yeah.
this makes everyone happy.
It's nice when you can have something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
And Mabel's just 2.5, but she's going on 20.
Right? Oh my gosh.
She is so smart.
The threat has evolved.
All right. What's
stuff.
what's
All right,
number 6?
what's next?
I had 2 in a row, but I'm going to split them up because I want to. I'm going to give you a movie called that I just watched. Gosh, I don't know where I saw it. I'm going to say
I can look it up.
it's called The Feast.
The feast.
An affluent family gathers at their lavish home in the Welsh mountains for a dinner party hosted by a local businessman. And a mysterious woman arrives at the family's house, is going to be the waitress for the evening. They find
my
their
goodness.
beliefs and values challenged. So it's basically a movie about bad people.
What about cannibals?
And bad people get to what's coming for them. And it's kind of like a, I don't know, raping the environment type movie, horror movie. It's so beautiful. It hooked me because this movie is so beautiful. Do you know where it's showing, Bill?
Yeah, Hulu.
Okay, Hulu. I mean, it's like every frame is total
Like
beauty.
a painting.
Yeah, it's beautiful, but it's so slow
Oh,
and
interesting.
off-putting and creepy, and the characters are.
It says it's a mystery.
It's a mystery, no, but it's
Mystery
a
horror.
It's a straight up horror movie. It has great reviews: 82% Rotten Tomato, 62% audience score.
Okay. So the critics like it even better.
Right, and I just found it a little too slow.
A little too slow.
And
it's only an hour and 33 minutes. So even at an hour 33,
Well, that's good.
which is
Not a huge investment.
yeah, huge investment.
time for this.
Did it feel like longer than that?
It did feel like longer than that, and it it's also subtitled.
Okay,
Because it was
That's
made in
tough.
Welsh.
But now it's a subtitled movie where there's so limited dialogue that it's no problem. 'Cause
really?
It's all looking at the
You're
camera.
not reading a novel.
Right. It's,
Okay.
gore and horror. But
Drama,
this is,
horror, mystery, thriller.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
We're all the tapes, I see.
everybody
Ready-
thinks that I just love horror movies and I'll watch
Which you
any
do.
horror movie.
yeah.
But I'm going to say it
Unqualified recommend?
It went overboard in the
Oh,
in the
okay.
it was the turn off where
Ooh, they went a little too far.
As far as the grossness,
grossness,
Whoa.
gore.
Wow. Grossed
Yeah,
you
yeah,
out.
yeah. I didn't
Okay.
like.
You're like, you didn't need to go that far.
So I know it's called The Feast, and I know we're not spoiling it here, but to me, did
Yeah.
you say? I mean, I don't know. I'm just thinking. I'm just thinking cannibals. I think we're eating people.
Eating people.
Are we eating people?
No.
Okay,
The beginning of the movie,
because that would be gross.
this girl shows up to this house, and it's called The Feast, and they're preparing. They keep on talking about they're preparing this
It's a rich
this-
dinner party.
this big dinner party.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to tell you that the feast was not a feast. It was like a small meal to me. I expected this to be, a glutton festival with a
Well,
pig on the
we're-
table.
We're not in America either, to be fair. But what time frame are we talking? Is this
It's brand new.
historical? Or?
Yeah,
so-
okay.
so
no, it's
current
brand
times?
new.
No,
Brand
but is it a
new.
historical drama?
No, it's brand new.
It's now, current,
Oh,
modern
yeah.
times.
People have
yeah.
Modern
Oddies.
times. Okay.
Right.
I got you.
Yeah, and it's just one of those movies. I just wanted to talk about it because it's really beautiful. If you like a slow moving,
So pros are good
Cinematography.
and the storyline is good, except
I mean,
for that it goes slow.
it's good. I wouldn't recommend it to myself. Like I'm saying, it's a fail.
oh, okay.
But I
Some
can
good
easily
stuff there.
see where someone might
love
like
it.
this.
82% Rotten Tomatoes.
Someone
Yeah,
might
that's high.
Is
Someone might
most
love
people.
it. A filmmaker that's into horror,
yeah.
you know.
Okay.
What
Only
is it that they're liking?
5.4 on IMDb. That's
Yeah,
not
that's-
too high.
Right.
Yeah.
I find I just get disconnected from the story when they go that step too far. You know what I mean? I just find I'm like, oh, okay, well, we're just watching a movie here, and clearly that went a little too far. Like,
I know what
took
you're
a left
saying.
turn there.
Right.
Well,
Can
Takes
be
me out of it.
Off-putting.
another
Yeah.
movie we're going to talk
Take
about
shot.
has actually the similar type of graph to me. When I look at a movie, I can like see it in a graph, like going, how is it going? You know, does it ramp up? Where does it ramp up? Is it peaking?
Okay.
This movie is pretty
Plateau.
much flat all the way across.
Oh, really? Which is
And-
weird for a thriller.
And then it ramps up super high at
oh,
the end.
okay, okay.
But
It's got that
similar to something we're going to talk about in a
hook
little
at the
bit,
end.
it went too far for me. You know?
If it went too far for you,
Yeah. I'm intrigued.
Once I
Right.
see a maggot, I'm not
Oh.
liking that, you know?
Oh, I'm not liking
I like
that
to use
either.
my
funny though,
imagination.
people have different limits on different subject matter. That's a good point because it's like maybe maggots just really turn you off.
I mean, you know,
There was a scene in Yellow Jackets. Remember where they had to kill the deer, but it was somehow the deer had maggots in it.
yeah.
Remember
very,
that? It
Very
was-
similar, but that was
Kind of grossed me out. But in the context of that show, it was all right.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
All right.
I'm very confused now. It's such a non-spoiler that I feel like
Well-
I almost want to watch it just because you've
See if you have a
intrigued-
different opinion
Yeah,
too because
right.
of the high audience scores.
well, if you want to taste it, taste the feast. You can at least you can easily watch the first hour and don't be afraid. You know, you're not going to be terrified. I don't think anything's even going to happen in the first hour. So, but it is a beautiful movie. Unfortunately,
It's
not recommend.
not
All right.
recommend.
Not
Okay,
recommend.
okay.
Moving on.
Okay.
Number 7.
The Tinder Swindler
Hey.
on Netflix.
There you go. Just a documentary.
Documentary, but
Unbelievable.
I'm going to tell you that
Who's seen it?
I
I've
have
se-
not.
I have seen it, and it's
I have
been in
seen
the
it.
news now. I mean,
yeah,
it's making news.
I know of it.
I'm going to tell you that this is a documentary, and something that I like to do with documentaries, I test them out and I just listen to them. So I
That's
had
right, you
these
did
in
do
my
that.
headphones, and the amount of dialogue and description in this movie was totally sufficient that I did not need to watch it at all.
Which to me it seems interesting because there is a lot of that very modern style of documentaries where they're showing you people's phones and the text messages going back and forth.
There's so much
okay,
evidence.
yeah, so I must have missed
Right.
that. But
Right,
I
so
mean,
that, you're getting just somebody's screen and the
Yeah, but they'll be talking in back of it.
That's true,
Right.
right.
So they're explaining what's happening.
yeah, at no point was I confused. I only looked at my
Okay,
phone
good.
occasionally just to see what the people looked like.
yeah.
Oh,
So I
sure.
could get, if they
wanted
changed.
to compare with casting.
Yeah, I just wanted to just change. And am I understanding that the people that were in this movie and taped are the real people?
Yes, everybody is real.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Everybody is
Jesus.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they kind of focus on 3 of the women that were swindled, and this one fellow from Israel, and
Right.
he's he makes Anna Sorkin look like a piker. I'll tell you.
my
You
God,
know,
does he rip these people
holy
off?
shit! Given that we had just finished that show,
Who recommended it? Who
Mary.
recommended it? Okay, Mary
Yeah.
recommended it.
yeah, I mean it's similar to
He's
that.
a premier con man.
What's that?
Premier con man.
Premier
I mean,
con man, exactly. Yeah,
Oh, it's a
quick one.
It'll be so frustrating to you how he abuses these people, and you will
Yeah.
be saying, and in fact, they even said on on Facebook and things, people were saying, "How stupid are you that you lost
I
$250,000?"
literally, I mean, I hate to say that, but I literally cannot.
I can't imagine.
I can't imagine that you could fall for.
No, when you
that's the
hear
underlying story.
right. You,
As soon
you-
as I saw this guy, it was red flag immediately. Glasses, skinny little Israeli guy.
Right.
I go, no.
Yeah,
But they're taken back by the fact that unlike Anna Sorkin or whatever, he's got money. He is on private jets.
Right.
He is bopping, a jet setter. They just don't know that he's not using his money to do it. That's what's up.
He's literally starting with some money and taking that money, paying that
it's
person,
a
taking the
brilliant
next one,
pyramid scheme.
just
Ponzi
Ponzi
scheme.
scheme.
Is that what it means? You just keep on taking
Right.
the money
Yeah,
and
he's
moving
Bernie
it to the next
Madoff
Right.
Yeah, just using.
Except he's Bernie Madoff of
with
love.
relationships.
Right, you just got to keep finding the next mark so that he can have them give him a
And then
bunch
the
of
marks
money.
get bigger and bigger.
And he
Yeah.
uses the same lines on all of them. They show on the text, "I love you, honey.
Yeah,
I wanna make this. I wanna have a baby with you."
Like, I think he probably had that, like, when you type, sometimes you have like words that will just come up. I think it was like,
Yeah, it's
Autofill.
like your autofill common sentence.
But it makes sense because he knew what they wanted to hear. He knew what they needed to hear.
I want to have your baby, or I want to
and
make
I
babies
love you,
with
and
you.
I miss you.
Yeah.
And they just wanted to be loved, and so he knew how to
I'm
find
sure in
somebody.
hindsight, every one of them are like, of course.
Oh, yeah.
And these girls didn't have money. He was getting them.
they weren't poor, but they weren't rich.
He was finding a girl, like, I'm gonna say at Kelly, somebody similar to you, and got you to take out like $250,000 worth of loans.
Starts out
sure.
small.
Well,
Just
Well,
need
that's
nine,
that'd
10.
be a good
10,000 at a
example
time.
because I can borrow a shit ton more money than I am right now.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, I have an excellent credit score. Like
There you
I
go.
could borrow a freaking $1 million. I'm sure.
There you
what,
go.
what would it take for you to? Who could talk you into
Nobody.
borrowing that money and giving it to them?
Yeah,
Right.
that would.
You don't even
seems-
get it.
I
No.
wonder if he had a bunch of like misfires, like he.
Oh,
like-
I'm sure
like
he
reeled a
learned
bunch
his
in,
craft.
and then
Absolutely.
got to that point where he's saying, "Okay, I'm being stalked or whatever. I need my cards aren't working. I need $10,000. Can you take me out?" How many people turned him down? And
I'm
said-
sure.
Right,
and
right.
was like, "Okay,
You have to have
no.
had fails for sure.
It's got to be right.
Yeah,
They're just
yeah,
not
yeah.
talking about.
They don't
those.
have enough time in the documentary, but I'm sure he honed his craft. At this point, he got good.
And
Yeah.
I am not familiar with Tinder. I don't know. I've never been on that, but I know young people do use it.
Oh.
And in this world,
It's how he
so
could
easy
capitalize
to,
on his skill.
Oh yeah, I need another sucker. Oh, here's one.
He'd been a con man for a long time prior to that. I'm sure this was
Right.
just the perfect
Right.
platform.
You find out that it's pretty much been him since he was a teenager.
Right. This is
Yeah.
honing his craft.
I
Yeah.
mean,
All right.
for
But
me,
it
I don't want to give away too much, but for me, it was so entertaining,
Right.
but such a disappointing ending to me.
Yes.
That I literally wanted to just I don't know, go on Twitter and ask people to hunt him down and kill him.
Yeah.
That could actually happen because with Netflix making a movie of this guy now,
I don't think I'll be sad if he gets
He gets what's
in a
coming.
dumpster.
Although
Yep.
I've heard that, like Anna Sorkin, they're like people are now, giving him deals. He's making deals. I mean, it's book deals or other
Sure.
kind of deals. So, unfortunately,
Right, if you-
sometimes
if you
Ew,
think you can
out
make
of this,
money-
he's going to make an honest dollar. Like,
yeah, right,
gross. Okay.
very gross.
But
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 super
he-
entertaining.
But he wastes so
Yeah.
much money. I mean, the hotels
Yeah,
would
he'll
be
blow it all.
$5,000 a day.
Oh God, yeah.
He would buy, a $100,000 cars like they were nothing.
Right, yeah,
Or
just
I should say
crazy.
$500,000 cars. Remember when he was buying that Maserati?
Oh yeah, and food and champagne and just parties and just living a lifestyle that was
So even if they gave him $1 million for a book right,
really really high.
He probably would
could
just
blow
burn
it.
through it.
right?
Yeah, it's a good point.
Because his whole con is to take the girls on his jet, serve them caviar and all that and champagne, and that's expensive.
That's how you get someone to give you money because you think
Right.
there's so much to be had
Yeah,
that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he'll pay me back.
Right.
But I mean, to
he's
me,
the
the-
son of a diamond,
oh, that's right.
billionaire.
The
It's-
story seemed so I just need, all my credit cards are messed up. I just need
Yeah.
40,000.
No,
But,
that
but you wonder why they don't just Google him and find out, who are you really?
right.
There's so
Yeah,
much.
that would be step
You type my
one.
name in, they'll
why there's
tell you
gotta
how
be a
many
bunch of-
speeding tickets I've had.
Right.
Right?
There's got to be a bunch of misses because
I'm gonna say not recommend because I didn't like the ending. How about you?
I'd say recommend just
Okay.
because it was very entertaining.
I'm a recommend. I know what you're talking about. That's what I couldn't watch the ending of.
It was kind of like
I Care a Lot.
It was kind of like I Care a Lot. You never watched that
okay.
movie.
I never watched the end of it.
Okay, see, now, Bill,
Oh, wow.
that movie has a satisfying ending. This is just the opposite.
Right.
This is I Care a Lot in reverse. So
Yeah.
you go, God, I can't wait till that fucker's hanging.
Yeah, it must have a good ending.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
Okay.
All right.
There you
All
go.
Okay. Moving on.
Moving on.
We back to a movie or something?
Another movie. Finally,
good.
we got one from on Hulu. Just watched it last night. It is called No Exit. It was all over Hulu.
Is that one they show a picture of a window with a hand on it?
Yes, that is it right
This is
there.
it, Yeah.
Here, Kelly, you could maybe read that right there. A little.
I'd love to.
Synopsis.
In No Exit, Havana Rose Liu, aka Mayday, makes her feature film leading role debut as Darby, a young woman en route to a family emergency who is stranded by a blizzard and forced to find shelter at a highway rest area with a group of strangers. When she stumbles across an abducted girl in a van in the parking lot, it sets her on a terrifying life or death struggle to discover who among them is the kidnapper.
Oh, there you go. So, you know,
That's a very intriguing story.
right, right.
So they're all trapped and they can't get away.
Right.
Sorry,
They
butchered
start
her
with
name.
a little filler talking about Havana, how she gets there.
Okay. Little exposition.
Little exposition.
Get her.
But she, I don't know where it is. Colorado, did it say? Somewhere where they would, police would say you gotta get off the road,
Okay.
and you can go to this rest stop, and everybody's just gonna
Too dangerous to
Park-
keep going.
just too dangerous.
Everybody, you're
get-
gonna have to stay here till we get the roads cleared.
That's my only knock on this movie. The blizzard didn't seem that
you're
bad.
like, that's nothing.
Because they're out in the parking lot
Why are
a
you
lot.
not driving?
I'm like, keep
Right.
going, Jesus. I mean,
If you can walk around in a parking lot, it's not that bad.
it looked like there was 4 inches of snow in the parking lot, and it was just light snow.
Oh wow. Okay. All right.
So-
but as
Dave's like, I could bike in that.
Well,
people
and
who
we're
live in
from
the
Wisconsin.
right, we're in
Right.
the North Tundra here, so
That's
But-
we're
nothing.
used to it.
It is it's a fun Saturday night type of movie.
Oh, okay.
You
Really? Saturday night?
I
you
like
rate
it.
yeah, just it's
That
simple.
sounds fun. I like the premise.
It's simple, quick.
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
Drama,
You're-
mystery, thriller.
those Wisconsin
It's on Hulu.
the visitor areas, where you stop off and
Yeah.
there's the maps of, the dells and all
That's a
that
fun
stuff.
setting
Right.
for this type
Right.
of movie.
So a bunch of tables in there, and
Okay. I don't.
I
Have
mean,
a,
you
I don't have a time frame on it.
maybe you'd know these characters here. Dale
Havana-
Dickey,
I know Dennis Haysbert.
Yeah, I
right?
know
He does
him.
the Allstate commercials.
Oh, that's right.
Everybody else, I don't think you would know, but
Oh yeah, Dennis Haysbert.
it's a pretty high tension movie. I
Good
would say.
acting.
Okay.
How's the
It-
quality? Is it well
It's
done?
it's all doable.
It's a Hulu original.
It's a Hulu original. It actually started off.
Very new.
I was kind of iffy, and then the quality of the movie got a little better, and they're just basically a group of people at a bunch of tables playing cards, and
Wow.
What would you say is one bad thing about the movie where it would knock off some points?
knock off some points. I don't know. I mean, it's not fantastic, but it's
Is it a little
This-
slow in some parts?
no. I mean, this movie has a graph like I'm talking about. I mean, it's just flat line all the way across, and then
Boom.
the climb to the top of the roller coaster is severe. Like, it has a couple points in that climb where you're like,
And when
well,
does it start
that's
climbing?
the finale, and it just keeps on going
okay.
like, holy shit, like
Oh, that sounds good.
Ooh.
it has
I like that.
but it's not going to blow you away, but it's a classic whodunit
All right. Is it,
Okay,
is
so
it a bit of
they're-
a slow start though?
No, it's not. Okay, so she's like a recovering drug addict. I'll spoil it a little bit. She has a phone call that she's in like a home for
A halfway house.
a halfway house,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Where they're not letting her use the phone, and they let her use the phone. They find out her mom is in the hospital, and she decides to steal a car, grabs a couple things, steal a car because she wants to go see her mom.
Yeah.
Halfway while she's driving there, her sister is saying, "Mom doesn't really want to see you," so you get the sad parts there, and
Okay.
and then she gets pulled over. It starts snowing, and you're like, she's in like an old '97 Camaro, and you're like, she's gonna be either in a ditch or whatever. A cop pulls her over and says, "You need to either turn around or go another mile to this rest stop."
Yeah.
Okay. And she's the main character.
She's
You-
the
you
main
follow
character.
through her.
And yeah, it gives it away.
Can
in
I
the,
give? I mean, did we read the whole synopsis about the kidnapped? They find that there's a kidnapped
right? She just happens.
person who's
she
in a
just
car, and they
there's-
have to find out which one at the rest stop is the one that kidnapped the
right.
kid.
So this
Yeah.
isn't spoiling anything. I mean, she's gonna get there.
what
They're-
happens to the kid? Does the kid inside with them?
Well, I'm not gonna tell you, Don. Okay,
Doesn't
so
sound like it.
Well,
in the
let's-
car.
I
In
mean-
the car.
Explain it.
Because then
It is a mystery.
I mean,
Right.
it's a short. It's a short whodunit.
Is it
she's at the
take
rest stop.
place in a short period of time as
Yes.
well?
Yes.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like an
It's
hour.
gotta be.
An
Only
hour
the
and a half
evening.
movie.
No, but like the time frame from like her
It's almost
pulling
real
in-
time.
Yeah, like from her pulling into the.
It's almost real time.
Okay,
She
good to
pulls
know.
into that rest stop.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
It is in real time
It's not
until
like
the
days that they're
no.
trapped
I would
there.
say like 1 hour passes and the movie is over.
Okay,
Okay.
great.
Yeah.
That helps a lot.
A gratifying thriller with a stellar lead performance.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not back and forth timeline. None
Yeah.
of that. This is just a
Okay.
linear. Is that the word we're talking about?
Sure, yeah.
I like them. Just start filming.
Boom. Okay. She
Okay.
pulls into that rest stop, and now
And there's
we're gonna
no
figure
there's-
it out.
No one has bars on their phone, so she's going out to the parking lot to see if she can.
Get
And
some.
she hears something in a van,
Yeah.
Yep.
and she looks in one of the windows, and there's a girl, like a 9-year-old girl, duct taped up in a
Jeez.
van.
Yuck.
Cool.
Now,
I mean, it's not cool. That
It's not cool, but now-
it sounds intriguing.
And now
go
on.
back in, and there's 5 people in there.
Right.
Whose van is it? She has to start playing cards with them, asking, "Where are you from?" Stuff like that.
Wow.
And then it
okay.
goes, and then
Okay.
it goes,
Zoom.
and then
right
it goes
up.
straight to the moon.
straight to
of-
the
of
moon. and
crazy.
Yeah,
she-
that sounds like
she
it's
figures
worth
it out.
watching. Because
That
now,
does sound
don't tell me,
interesting.
but I want to know. Like, does she talk to the girl? Does she take her duct tape off? No. Does she
That's
just
what
go
I
back
wanted to know.
inside
Right,
and just
right.
talk to these
I mean,
That's
people?
what I'm wondering. Like, does she leave her outside this whole time?
Or I might just try to put her in my car and try to drive in the blizzard. But
Exactly. Right.
Obviously, that's
wanna,
not her choice.
I want to
but
smash
okay.
the window, get her out of there, get her warm, and
All right.
I mean, you
save
don't.
her.
I hope
Recommend.
Dennis didn't do it because I like Allstate.
These people,
Right.
they all look shady. I'm gonna say every.
okay.
Oh, and that's that kind of movie where you think for a minute at any
Yes.
one point, like,
Right.
oh, it's them. No,
Right.
it's him.
Yeah,
No,
you
it's her.
Definitely
for sure.
don't go with the obvious one, right?
Right.
The one that looks like a.
I was
perv.
actually thinking that too.
The
Throughout-
shady guy that mentions his predator background
Yeah.
or something.
I'm gonna say that they kind of go that way. They're not gonna like. They're gonna try
No.
to fool you in a different way. They're gonna go.
Sure.
You know what? Maybe it is the most likely guy.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
But
I love that though.
Remember when
All
we
right, all
watched
right.
Clickbait?
but that would be too easy.
Remember
Mm-hmm.
Clickbait? Each show it was, it's not that person anymore, but
Yeah.
you thought it was.
Yeah.
They were so good at making you think at each show it was this person. And then the next show they'd, oh no, that person's innocent.
Yeah.
I forgot the timer.
Okay. Oh,
sorry.
darn it.
We're
Okay. Yeah.
past
Dave
for
Move
gets
sure.
on to the next one.
Bonus time.
No exit. Hulu. Definite recommend. It does get a little ultra violent at the end, but
All right.
I think it's worth it.
Hopefully, it's the kidnapper that gets
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
violence.
I mean, if we were rating them, it's definitely a solid B to
Ooh,
me.
Right.
okay,
Yeah.
so that might be one of the best ones we've talked about today.
For sure. How about the after party on?
There
on,
we
uh,
go.
This
Apple
looks
Plus, right?
Funny.
I love it.
I do too. The
Wow.
after party.
I'm giving it a huge recommend just out the gates.
Right.
Let me just start with that.
Wow. Okay. And
love
this
it.
is on Apple.
What do you love about it?
Yes. Tiffany Haddish is hilarious.
Tiffany
oh my gosh, her
Haddish.
character is just like on point. I can say that about almost all of them though. It's one of these things where everyone is perfectly cast.
Yes, a
So-
lot of really funny, good
I'm
comedic
okay, so
actors.
I am
we'll-
starting it tonight.
We'll set it up. So there's a high school reunion.
High school
Class
reunion.
of 2006. So like similar to my generation, I I would have been a senior when these people were freshmen-ish or something like that. But so I resonate with this, like, I don't know, age group very much. But so you have your quintessential kind of roles in high school, right? There's the popular girls, there's the outcast guy, you know, all of these things, but everyone is perfectly cast. They go back for their 15-year high school reunion, and then there's an after party. Someone ends up dead.
Right, and
It's a whodunit.
It is a whodunit, but
Ooh, I like
each-
a whodunit.
No, but
it's all a
the
whodunit.
craft is so brilliant. So each episode is the same story from start to finish from a
Right.
different character's perspective.
Ooh.
Right, and so
Last Duel.
not to spoil it too much, but
Like
you
the
can
last-
see it from the trailers.
Is it like
Right.
is it like the last duel? I mean, are we literally doing the same story over from a different perspective?
Yes,
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
You know, and Tiffany
but
Haddish.
funny.
But funny.
She's the
Yeah.
detective. She's not like a great detective. She is.
She cuts corners. She,
She
doesn't
cuts
play
corners.
by the rules.
She only has a limited time to do this before they kick her off
She's
the case.
not supposed to be the lead detective, but she's trying to solve it. It's,
Right. And one person in the high school has become wildly famous.
Okay.
It's Dave Franco.
Dave Franco, who
he becomes
his character is so funny.
Hey,
Right.
now this is new. If Dave Franco, I thought he was kind of like rejected from Hollywood for a while.
You know, and he's playing
You're
like
thinking
a
of
giant
you're thinking his brother.
James.
You're thinking
Franco.
of James Franco.
Okay, which Franco is
So this
it?
is the younger one.
Oh, I don't know him.
Yeah, oh yeah, you do. You've seen him in lots
Yeah,
of
he
stuff.
looks very similar. Actually, they
Okay.
look like brothers.
Right.
Okay.
But it's funny because he's playing like a giant douchebag. He's playing this guy who became
Xavier.
super famous, like comes into the reunion on a helicopter. You
Right.
know, I don't want to spoil it because it's fun, but
Yeah.
you
And
get
the- and the
you
after
get all
party's
those
at his
spoilers.
house. It's
yeah,
at his house.
You get all these spoilers in the first episode because you keep rewatching the same events
Right.
over and over again through different.
like it.
Yeah, it's
Everybody,
brilliant.
everybody
it's so
kind
funny.
of has a reason that they might have been the guy to kill him. Basically, they all of a sudden he's laying on the beach, dead at his Malibu.
having, you know, fallen off or been pushed off a balcony.
Is
off
there
the
any
balcony.
reason this show could go longer than one season?
Don't know yet.
But it
Yeah, I
shouldn't,
don't
right? It
know.
should be one season
It
and
should
done.
be. It should be right.
Yeah, it should be a mic drop. They could follow a similar formula for something. But
You know, you've so many fun characters that are. This fellow here plays
yeah.
kind of a douchey guy who's married to one of the characters. So there's a lot of love triangles that we're dealing with here. You know,
you
We're-
find
we're-
out new nuggets with each episode. Like storylines make more and more sense as it goes on.
They're going back to their time when they were in high school, and there's some backstory that shades the way things might be portrayed now. There's all this resentment between characters. There's
you have
there's-
a lot of like larger than life kind of characters, like in
Yeah.
their own way.
right. Just the guy who never gets. Nobody remembers his name. Is hilarious, but
And
yet
it's subtle funny though. Like
Yeah.
each episode, you're not like slapping your knee crying funny, but it's also kind of that style of humor where they aren't laughing, but you are. You know what I mean? They're not trying to be funny.
Right.
It's just hilarious.
and they're giving you a lot of really genuine performances.
Oh,
from,
yeah.
like there's some good acting there.
very good acting.
Between the people who have sort of a ships that cross in the night kind of love sort of situation.
Is this show completely out, or are you waiting on
no,
episodes?
you're waiting on episodes.
Waiting
Comes
on
out
So how many
Friday.
are out so I can catch up?
There's 8 total, and I think we only have.
Six, maybe?
We're up to this week is going to be 7 and 8.
Have you
Yeah.
you've seen them all?
No, I've seen 4.
Okay.
Okay.
There's only two more
How
left.
many have you seen?
I've seen them all.
Okay.
I've seen all 6, and yeah,
And short looks like 31 minutes.
30
Yeah.
minutes, very quick.
Anywhere
I
from
like
like
that.
30 to
I do too.
36 minutes
Yeah,
or
you
so.
can blow through this
Yeah.
fast. I mean, you
I
could
was just
easily
starting it
watch
to sample it, and I watched 4 episodes.
I-
like
yeah.
I couldn't help myself.
I do like Apple has a lot of shows that are quality and shorter. Like The Servant, I watch also in the 25 to 30-minute episodes.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's good if you can do it in that
so
short
you're
amount
still
of time.
watching Servant?
Oh yeah, that's
Is
good
that
too.
second or third season?
Third season?
Wow.
Recommend extra bonus review.
Bonus recommend.
Bonus.
This is very funny. I would say it's a heavy recommend.
And I just love like the marriage of
Okay,
kind of like
I'm gonna put a star
like
next to it.
horror thriller and comedy. Like
Yeah.
it's just it like elevates it to a different level.
A little bit of mystery, but they're doing a
Yeah.
decent job. It's not like they're
Where's the horror? I heard the word horror.
Well, I mean, it's a murder. It's a murder mystery.
not
So,
not
I mean,
horror
it's
in
not
the sense
horror,
of scary.
But I mean, there are.
Check that out. Absolute mango and
And
little bit of
OJ.
orange.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
doable.
Sorry.
I mean, no, it's not horror, but I just like this kind of genre, and there's like, it also reminds me just a smidge of Only Murders in the Building. Lately.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it almost has like
Right.
a.
Right, it's got a realistic sort of,
and it's like
there's
the
a realistic
quality-
threat there. I mean, there's real death. There's some real
Someone really did get murdered.
Yeah.
And they're, genuinely investigating it. These people are being kept in a house to be interviewed for this murder. And that's all genuine, but it's funny.
yeah. Yep, I think it's well done all around. You will both like it if you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Okay, wow, you're
Watch
looking
it
at me
tonight.
going, I'm gonna like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I love
You
it.
will. Yeah, it's very easy watch. Super easy watch.
The Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Ooh. Not as much of an easy watch. but
Okay, so now we're gonna just review like the final season here, or
this is season 4. Yeah, that I would say
is it all out?
no. Again, that's an Amazon Prime, a Prime Video show.
So why don't you just, in general, instead of just trying to concentrate in this last season, talk. Now I watched the first episode.
of the entire series.
Yeah. So and then it just got pushed to the back burner and it never made it,
Right.
or it dried up or whatever. So talk me into the Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Well, I would say that it is
Talk to me.
a really good period piece. Like
Mad Men.
like Mad
Yeah,
Men.
except now you're
Okay.
talking early 50s.
Right. So talk early 50s.
Okay.
Talk about New York and switch, advertising for comedians and Jewish culture.
Okay.
There's a lot of Jewish culture in this.
All right.
Manhattanites.
I
living-
just watched the Shrink Next Door. I'm all on that Jewish
I
culture.
particularly love the Jewish culture. I love these people. I love Tony Shalhoub as the father, and
We were born in the Jewish culture. We just
Yeah.
weren't Jewish.
Mirren Hinkle. Her, the whole family part of it is
Right.
a huge part of this show.
Okay.
And so it's an ensemble where, you can just enjoy watching the meals that they prepare. I mean, they will have a meal and it is so accurately done. It's like, oh my God, I want that corned beef sandwich.
And are they really eating it, or you can tell that they take a take and they spit it out?
Maybe they're eating it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But really, really well done. And,
Okay.
And there's going to be like 3 Jellos with peas and,
And that's where the long conversation will be at the table.
exactly right.
Okay.
So they're going to set that up. The point being, it's got that same quality that Mad Men have, where it's super attention to detail.
That's the reason I love Mad Men.
and super accurate too.
Okay.
To New York in the late 50s.
Okay.
So that's good. It's a drama that it's not super funny. It's not like it's like knee slapping
Mad
funny.
Men was occasionally funny in a
Right.
dark way,
Right.
but it wasn't funny in general.
This is more of a smile, but it's a great story, and
It's
you
a
just
drama.
love Rachel as this struggling comedian.
Is there enough dialogue that I could maybe get hooked on it by listening to a few episodes?
Probably.
Maybe, because it's just it's back and forth, like the conversation
Right.
is
It-
almost a faster speed.
Okay.
And everybody is
Right. You're definitely, there's a lot of it is
animated.
Right. Animated. I mean, the dialogue is top notch. I mean, you really, the words aren't wasted.
You know, you
they're-
could definitely listen to this on a
right there. It's all
audio.
smartly done, especially like let's say between Tony Shalhoub and Rachel Brosnan. Miss Maisel and her father.
Right.
They've got this father-daughter thing going back and forth, and they're both very clever and smart people, and so you've got that.
Okay.
Really, really keeps you. And then the story itself is really good. I mean, she is struggling to be a female comedian in the 50s. It's something that isn't really big at the time.
That on its own is just awesome.
And she's
of
got
the
this
story.
agent who is
Yes.
just a lady that had a dumb bar that
Yeah.
she just wants to make some money, and she actually locks onto her, and
She's
she
the
could make money for her.
Alex Borstein,
Right.
the woman who does the voice of Lois in The Family Guy.
Yeah,
is the actress.
relationship
and she's
between the
great.
two. Yeah, and she's very butch. She wears a leather hat, and she always wears black. It's like she's a
Pants
like
and
a
a
man
suit.
kind of a
Right. They even
person.
get
And
into
then
that a little bit.
Just the opposite with
oh,
Mrs.
the
Maisel.
clothes on
Yeah,
her.
she would rival
Oh yeah, I'm
Emily
sure
in
a
Paris.
good period piece. You always pay attention to the clothing.
Right. I mean,
It's
they're
an enjoyable part of it.
incredibly on point.
How about the final
gorgeous.
season here? Is it ramped up or is it?
Right. So
Oh, it hit the ground running, don't you think? Just
Yeah.
where they
Say,
left
usually
off.
they've honed their craft at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
As
you
far as,
care about what's going
the
on. You're
ensemble,
rooting
the
for
writers.
her.
she's had a pretty big arc. Okay. I mean, not to give it away if you haven't seen it, but the first season is about her getting some sort of notoriety.
Okay.
And she gets a little bit of that. And the second season is about some real heavy success. And then the third season is about her just about to launch into being a national,
Sensation.
sensation. Thank you.
Okay.
And then there's a little bit of coming down to earth. There's a big smash at the end of season 3, and season 4 is about her kind of rebuilding herself. She's getting divorced from her husband. She's got 2 kids. So you got that in there. And that's
She's
yeah.
struggling. She's calling up the milkman. Say,
What was
"Can
the
you loan me
smash?
some
What was the
milk?"
smash? I don't know why my
Just her
crashing.
I'd give it away. Yeah, right. Her career has taken some.
in my mind,
some hits.
in my mind, I just thought about the world according to Garp. Car crash.
No.
Not that bad.
Not
okay.
that bad. No, just
some famous
just,
person.
Not a crash.
Right. She's going to go on a national tour, and something goes wrong with
Okay.
it, and she's got to regroup.
Is this going to be a 10-season show? Do you think?
No, I think maybe there's going to be one more.
I mean, they're just
You don't want
they're
to.
such good actors.
You don't
on
want to
it.
stretch it out. You want
Right.
to just finish it strong and have
Yeah.
it be legendary.
Yeah, I think they need to just end with her, becoming, I don't know, the Bob Hope of her time, or the Jerry Lewis or something like that.
Lenny Bruce
Lenny Bruce is in the
is an actor.
In this fictitious world. They have the real, Lenny Bruce. So it's they kind of put it in the real world, but yet it's in the fictitious world, and really, really spot on.
I thought I heard way in the beginning that she's supposed to be like the life of Joan Rivers.
That's what I'm kind of imagining.
That's interesting. That I
I
hadn't
love
heard
Joan
that.
Rivers
Yeah.
early. Johnny Carson. So
That would make sense, Bill.
Amazon Prime, it's 100% recommend. It's 100% recommend to everybody.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Okay, who's not going to like it?
Somebody who doesn't like
No.
long period dramas where you
Okay.
have to pay
Yeah,
attention.
I probably couldn't talk Dan into this.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Did
I-
Dan
I-
watch Mad Men?
Right.
No.
Okay, so
Right, because this is like, right, it is
if you-
definitely
if you,
that.
if you like Mad Men,
Mhm.
100% you're going to like it.
Yeah, it's a little sexy. It's a little dramatic. It's
Right.
Got its
a
funny
little
moments.
bit funny.
Still
It's
haven't
got
got her
I don't know
everything.
why I'm not watching it.
Okay, it's IMDb. I know you don't like their ratings, but it's an 8.7. They never rate anything that high.
Yeah.
Okay.
This means that
I'll report
9 out of
back.
10 people are giving it an 8, 9, or a 10.
Right,
I will
but,
report
I mean,
back.
it's Dave. It's not. It's definitely dry. It's a little bit heady. I
I
mean,
like dry.
You need to be willing to just
I cut
get
off
into
all the
their
fat.
Yeah. If you can just relish in like a very domineering Jewish mother kind of badgering her daughter,
Well, I think of
that's a big part of it as well. You know, that kind of stuff. That could be like an entire episode.
the mayor of Easttown. You know, mayor and her badgering kind of mother, which was also hacks. You know.
Okay.
So I do like a mom and a.
And quick wit. I mean, it's
You
definitely
can appreciate that
boom,
dynamic.
boom, boom. Fast dialogue. You know.
Fast dialogue.
I grew up on the Lucy show,
Very
so this is
interesting.
probably going to be right up my alley.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is one though you want to see it because the
You do wanna
scenery
see it.
is,
I know, but I need to like listen to it because
All right.
then I can cram in a few episodes.
Maybe you can get some back. You'll definitely miss something because it is beautifully done. I mean, this is definitely one where they are making everything look gorgeous.
Okay.
Yeah.
All of their New
Well,
York
again,
homes are
timepieces, props, and
exactly.
and costume, and
a lot of money spent on that.
All right, we got 2 more to go.
That was
I don't know if we've talked about this. Enchanto.
Oh.
No, and this is kids' corner because you have to just throw these in there. But
Great
it's
movie.
so huge right now, you can't not talk about it. But I mean, I feel like
I love this movie.
I appreciate so much that Disney. I mean, like Disney Pixar is just such a powerhouse, right? They know what they're doing and they are evolving. They are making very smart choices. One of the things about this movie, it's very music heady. So if you hate musicals, like that might annoy you, but they got Lin-Manuel Miranda to write originals for this song, or I mean for this movie, and we don't talk about Bruno has already eclipsed Let It Go from Frozen.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Really, for like Spotify plays.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's interesting in that it's a bit of culture that isn't very commonly included
Depicted.
in the Disney world.
And
it's a
they're
Colombian
making
family.
smart choices. They're and like the Disney princess, so to speak, of this
Right.
film, she's an underdog. She is not.
She is.
You know, it's a different type of formula, although they're still doing everything that works perfectly, and it's the same kind of an arc always. But the casting was perfect in this. As far as vocal performances, you've got your famous people, but like John Leguizamo, you gotta love him.
Right.
Stephanie Beatriz, like you know her from
You do.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine,
Right.
which is the funny thing because she had that like monotone. That was her calling card in that.
She was kind of the tough girl.
But now she's like the bubbly Disney princess, and that was huge for her too. But it's so well done, and it's so visually stimulating, right?
It's visually spectacular.
Right.
In my theater, this movie is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Color,
Oh, for sure.
HDR,
Right.
sound.
Which is always a huge part of these great Disney animated movies.
Yeah,
and
it
they
needs
don't-
to
you
be.
don't-
I mean,
yeah.
Bill, this is what you need to have on your TV. I mean,
Right.
this-
Okay.
Oh, it's
This
beautiful
movie
just to
will-
watch, just to see that color, just to see that lush Colombian.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's a movie
Village.
about a family with magical powers. So it's like only in the world of animation could you go there with
Yeah,
such
right.
elaborate detail and
Right.
like that you can animate at the speed of thought and have everything like
Ah.
right with them, and the lyrics of songs. Basically, each song breaks out into a music video.
yes,
And it's, I mean, like different scenes and
Oh, yeah.
it's
big scenes.
Yeah.
And I love what you were saying about animation because that's always the reason that one of the reasons I love it so much is because it just frees the mind of the filmmaker
Yeah.
to just create whatever they want.
it's a trip.
You can do whatever you want. You can get it on film. I mean, it's still expensive, I'm sure, to do a movie like this, but you can do things visually that would be limited by
And it was
live
mostly
action.
a pandemic movie too.
Oh,
like
really?
Lin-Manuel talked about how he was like writing all these songs in his slippers and how it was a challenge to
that's funny.
get past Disney security and have them send him certain minutes of the movie where he was expected to
Great looking poster.
write a song for it. Yeah.
I love the the unusual powers that
Right.
all the kids like the power to have everything you touch turns into flowers or just render flowers.
Oh, that's right. So all the kids they're different. They're sort of all touched at one point and get some sort of special power in this house that is the Enchanto. Isn't that basically the premise? Is the house is the Enchanto? Or
Well,
And
yeah,
they're-
it's
no,
the
the
grandma was
location.
like they were fleeing and they don't go into specifics, but yes, it's based in Colombia. They were
figure it out.
Yeah, and so the grandpa basically of the family, her husband at the time, did not make it out, and she had triplet babies, and they were bestowed magical powers at that time to help a new town flourish with the surviving people of this tragedy.
That's right.
And then from there, every child that was born into the family is bestowed with a new, unique magical power.
Yeah. And one of them
Doesn't get any powers.
Doesn't get a gift. And who enter our heroine, Mirabelle.
with
But yeah, I
glasses
love
and
that.
cute and
Yeah, I love that they went that way. Like, it's things look a little bit different. They're representing a different culture. They cast really well. The music is phenomenal. I mean, he outdid himself again, which is just one of those things.
So the guy that did Hamilton?
Yes, that he did Hamilton. And some of the songs are like that. The lyrics are so quick. It's so much. But they can animate to that speed too. So you have every single lyric that is like amazing to his level is also visually that much
Right, it's perfectly
in front
matched.
of you.
Yeah.
Right,
And your
right.
kids can watch it.
Well, the
God,
thing about it is, it's a movie that, like, just the description and the first, like, screenshot of it, I would, like, have no interest whatsoever.
Right. Yeah, I could see that.
I wasn't that interested either.
But
Yeah.
I wasn't
but
too excited.
A magical
immediately pulled into the movie. So it has that much power where even if you don't think you'll like it,
Yeah.
if you play it, you will like it.
And then
Okay.
you will
Great
keep
story.
liking it more because the damn songs will just be nonstop
Oh, yeah,
in your
right.
head. So
Yeah.
Right, they're not like they're just songs in a movie.
No.
They're great,
Very catchy.
very catchy.
Oh, okay. So
it's like a joke at school. I'll walk in to drop off the kids and everyone will be like, you like make this sound like don't sing any of We Don't Talk About Bruno because then it will be in my head for the rest of the day. I've gone
that's
4 hours with that song not in my head
Oh wow.
funny.
That's great.
because everyone loves it that much.
All right, so there you go.
100% recommend for
On
me.
Disney.
How about you?
Oh, yeah.
Recommend.
Def-
Don?
recommend.
Definitely recommend it. Yeah, you won't be disappointed, whatever age you are.
Grand finale movie. Brrr. Finally saw it. Don's seen this movie 100
Oh.
times, but it's
This is the first time you saw
Oh,
it?
yeah.
yeah, I've never seen this. It's on HBO Max. It's called The Free Guy or Free Guy.
I think it's just free.
I think it's just Free Guy.
I like to just goof up and say The Free Guy.
Ryan
Guy.
Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. And now let me just talk
Love
about it
him.
a little bit
I
because
watched it 3 times.
I think you've seen it a bunch of times. I've seen it one time, watched it downstairs, big theater, sound cranked to the absolute maximum. And I will say the first 45 minutes during this movie, I said, I'm going to tell Don I don't think I like this movie.
There
Wow.
you go.
I
Isn't
did
that
not like
something?
it for the... It's not like I
really
didn't like it,
surprised.
but
Yep. You weren't being blown away.
I wasn't being blown away. I was like, what is so good about this movie?
Well, sometimes when people like a movie and then they rave about it and then you
Right.
watch it, your expectations are too high.
That is a
But-
huge part of it, and it's you definitely have been not seeing this for a long time, and so that is a big part of it.
Right. There was a bunch of... I mean,
A
you know,
lot of
it was
expectations.
good. It wasn't like a negative, but I'm like, it's just okay. It was
Okay.
like,
Sure,
a C+.
that's honest.
But,
Really?
C plus.
C+.
Ouch. Okay.
but, it, after that 45 minutes, I think it's a 2-hour plus movie.
It is. That's one downside is it is long.
It is relatively long.
It
Yep.
ramped up. Everything started to make more sense to me. And by the end, phenomenal. I thought it was phenomenal. And probably on rewatch, that first 45 minutes is going to be much better, which I just haven't watched it yet.
Might understand it more or be less confused right off the bat.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe,
I mean,
or-
I wasn't confused. There was no confusion.
No.
I
It
feel
was-
like once you
it was
see
li-
it once too, it's one of those movies that you can watch in chunks here and there and
Yeah.
still enjoy it. You know what I mean?
For me, yes.
I think maybe I'll
totally agree
see
with
something
you, Kelly.
different. I'll see something different.
yeah.
Right. Because right. I mean, to me, it's just a very popcorn, feel good movie that it's somewhat formulaic in that it, but then in another way, it's
Formulaic,
super
but it
original.
had some nuggets of originality.
You know,
Absolutely.
just the concept of
I mean, that-
what he was, a
And like the
character
programmers
that's-
being your hero and heroine kind of in the
Yes.
background.
Yeah,
like,
that
Yeah,
whole
the actual
sort of
story in the background.
Yeah.
right. The whole romantic comedy in the background of the two programmers.
So
is a
Jodie
huge
Comer
part.
plays both a character
Early-
in the software, and she is a programmer outside the software.
Early on, there was nothing negative. There was nothing negative about the movie. It just was not. I guess there was a lot of hype, okay, because Don hyped it up, but
Yep.
there was nothing that I was going,
Yeah.
oh my God, oh
Right,
my
right.
God. There
So
was none of that.
Maybe in that it was a lot of setup. You have to sort of like get the concept of him being what do they call it? NPR
PC.
non-player character NPC
Right,
NPC right. So that there's a little bit of you have to explain that. You have to.
I mean, but you
know
know-
there's not. This is made for general audience, so not everybody will know that concept of these huge games
Yeah,
where
like-
where you've got people who are in the game as avatars, and then they're these background characters that aren't real. So you have to explain.
But I mean, that might be part of it. I mean, don't we normally go 15 minutes? You have 15 minutes to hook me.
Right.
I gave this the
more than a benefit of the doubt.
yeah, more than the benefit of a doubt. But like a movie like Tenet, that you have no idea. There's no idea. But
to
that
this
first,
day, I don't know what happened.
but that first 15 minutes,
Right.
you should be pretty hooked. At least in the first 15
Yes,
minutes, your
yes.
heart should be pounding.
well,
Yeah, I can see what you're saying about Free Guy for that.
yeah.
But
I can
what I'm
see
saying,
that,
I
I
think
guess.
now just tell me. I think in seeing it again, I think that first 45 minutes is going to be much better. And I'm a multiple movie watcher.
I think so. I think you'll go back and you'll be like, oh, it's just fun because
Yeah.
in the beginning, it's for me what was fun was just sort of Ryan Reynolds' performance.
Yeah, yeah,
and the other characters' performances and just sort of their
And those moments of
Cartoony
like,
bits.
I could agree, and I haven't watched it again, but I could see getting more enjoyment out of it because those zinger moments, right? Those like really satisfying, him putting sunglasses back on, or like
Right.
the quippy lines, like
Yeah.
you keep getting more and more enjoyment out of that
Yeah.
upon rewatching it.
to me his character was very endearing, and you sort of
Yeah.
you really started to bond with this super innocent good guy.
I mean, the special
it's just
effects are
blue-
spectacular.
Oh yeah, like flawless.
I didn't see anything that was
Right.
suspect at all. I loved it.
Yeah, a lot of fun
That
way.
part of it was pretty impressive, actually, because I mean, there's like these fantastical things going on, like it's in a video game world, but everything looks
right.
completely real.
It looked so good.
Yeah, so it had all of that, just really just a lot of fun, a lot of big action, and a good deal of heart. And
I
then-
mean, it's
There you go.
100% recommend for me. I really liked it. I'm going to watch it again. I just wish you would have bought the hard copy of it instead of a disc.
so you could have seen it sooner.
Yeah, so that's just,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell everybody in the group, if you ever have an urge to buy a movie, we'll
buy it on
share it
Apple.
because somebody can have the digital copy, somebody can have the Blu-ray,
Okay.
somebody can have the 4K. Don't
Right.
buy anything just digital.
Damn it.
I mean, I think you bought it because you could get the digital. It was out like 2 weeks earlier.
It
or
was out
maybe a
pretty
month
early, right? I
earlier.
got it on Apple TV.
Yeah, I
That way
understand.
somehow.
But yeah, Free Guy, 100% recommend.
and you can watch it on HBO free now.
Yeah.
Or Disney,
or Disney. I watched it on.
which is really weird.
Oh,
Right.
So I'm gonna watch it. I watched it on Disney first, which I'm gonna tell you, if you're a home theater person, the sound is really low. It's not dynamic. Like it doesn't have all
But
the.
for some reason, it's the volume.
but the
is
volume, you have to really go.
interesting.
Go high to get it back to your regular volume. Like, I don't know how you have yours, like a 74 or whatever, where mine would be like 10 dB is
Okay.
reference. So I needed to go down to like 2 just to have it loud enough. But we're going to try it out on HBO Max or next.
All right, well, there you go.
Do it.
A lot of recommends today.
Yeah. Except for Space Force.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love the quick reviews.
That was
we
a lot
get
of
through
fun.
so much content.
Was a lot. We did. I mean, that was that just 10 or was that 11?
I think
French
that was
Dispatch.
Might have
Sex
been a
Lives
baker's dozen.
College,
No,
Baker's
Space Force,
dozen.
American Underdog.
I think it was actually 12.
it was 12.
Yeah, I got 12 here.
Bill has record.
Remember, I think I threw one in there just as a quick 1 second review.
And we ate all the cotton candy
No
grapes.
exit.
All the
No
cotton
exit.
candy grapes. All the mimosas are done. Now we take a little nap from all the French toast.
Right.
Out of everything that we talked about, we'll just go around the room. What's 100% your favorite thing on the list so far?
Oh boy, I'll say.
After party for me.
There you go. How about you, Bill?
Marvelous.
Marvelous Miss Maisel. I'll say. Boy, you took mine there. I'll go Free Guy.
Yeah, Free Guy would be my second.
Okay.
What about you, Dave?
Mm,
You take all the good ones.
I'm going to say the Tinder Swindler, even though I didn't recommend it.
Wow.
I'm going to say,
Ooh.
You got to see it.
yeah, I mean, I don't. I'm saying not recommend because it has a shitty ending, but I think you should watch it.
Okay. Love it.
moviechatterpodcast@gmail.com. If you saw what movie we were playing during the podcast in the background, you have to go to iTunes for that.
There you go. YouTube.
YouTube, iTunes.
One of the two.
Yeah, one of the two. The one with the pictures.
The one with the pictures. Okay.
All right,
What
say
are we
goodbye.
doing next week? Who
Probably
knows?
something similar
Okay.
or completely different.
Watch The Gilded Age.
All right, maybe.
The Gilded Age. If
Maybe.
you like Downton Abbey.
All right,
It's on HBO.
enough of that.
Okay.
Say goodbye.
Goodbye. Until next time.
10-4,
See you, boys.
over and out.
Later.